What's up everybody, Tyler with Elk Shape Gear.
Dead center!
Here on the Elk Shape Gear channel, we want to help you make more informed decisions on your gear purchases. We're not here to tell you what to purchase. We're just giving you all the information so that you can make the most informed decision for what is going to work best for you and your situation. Today, I want to go over some tripods that I use for shooting off of. These are shooting specific tripods that are not really great for using for filming or glassing, but they're awesome for shooting off of with your weapon. All right, let's get into it. I have 3 different tripods here that are set up more specific for shooting, and I'm gonna go through the gear I used on my hunt in Montana that I just got back from, and I was able to use this gear to make some longer shots, longer than I've ever taken in the field before, and in situations that this gear was critical in making those shots. If I didn't have the gear, I wouldn't have been able to make those shots effectively, or would have had to adjust something somewhere. Somebody who's probably a little better shot and a little better setting up in the field would have been able to use some different gear and make that work, but this is what worked for me, and I'm gonna go through that now. First up we have is this tripod from Manbily. They're more known for making camera tripods. However, they just came out with this guy that is a specific shooting tripod. This is what I ended up using. I used it to make a shot. I was sitting in some tall grass and had to shoot at a pretty good uphill angle. This allowed me to attach my gun to the top of the tripod and get it all situated to where I was able to make a confident shot. So this comes in at just under 4 pounds. It's 3 pounds, 15.6 ounces, right at the 4 pound mark. It is a little heavy. However, like I said, if I didn't have this tripod with me, I probably wouldn't have been able to make the shot I did confidently. It does come with a Arca Swiss plate that you can take off and attach whatever you need to. You can also attach something that you could just rest a standard rifle on that doesn't have an Arca Swiss or a Picatinny attachment on it. I really like this tripod because it is compatible with both, and it has a quick release head. So that's released, you set your gun in there, cam it over, and you're locked and loaded, ready to go. It also has the Picatinny rail attachment, so you can attach it to either the Arca Swiss plate on your rifle or a Picatinny rail. You can use a Arca Swiss plate, hook it here, hook up one of those gun V's on it, and use it that way. If you use that, it's not as stable as if you actually attach it to the tripod, but it will work in some situations. The things I do really like on this is the fact that it's got a really big ball and it's pretty stiff to just like move around with your hand. But once you put the rifle on, it moves really easy because you have all the leverage of the rifle. And then you can just tighten that knob and that locks it in place to where your gun is super stable. It also has a separate pan, so you get up where you want it to be, the angle you want, you can lock it in, and then if your game moves slightly to the right or left, you don't have to undo the whole ball to move it. You just undo the pan and it pans pretty quick and easy. It also comes with these extra feet. These are a spike foot. So if you're in some soft terrain or you're on steep terrain that's kind of more dirt than rock, you can use these to replace the rubber feet that it comes standard. Just unscrew, screw in your new foot peg, and now you have a spiked foot instead of a rubber foot end. I just ended up running with the rubber feet and not these spikes, but that is an option that it comes with. So that is the Manbily tripod. It's a shooting specific tripod. I'll put a link in the description below so you can find this guy. Highly recommend it. It is carbon fiber. It's got 3 legs to it, and these are pretty dang long. So you could, if you needed to, if you say you were in tall brush, tall grass of some sort, or you're trying to shoot over something that's in front of you. This is, even just standing here with a rifle, this would be taller than I would need for shooting off of. It gets pretty dang tall. And it also compacts small enough that I can stick it in the side pouch of my backpack. My backpack is kind of made for having a tripod on the one side, and it fits in there perfectly. No issues there. The only drawback I found with this tripod is that it does come in at basically 4 pounds, which is a little heavy. However, I was happy to have it when I took the shot because the heaviness of the tripod makes it that much more stable. Really do dig that. I definitely dig the fact that because my rifle stock, which is a Macmillan stock, has the Picatinny attachment at the front where I have a bipod, and then it has at the midpoint, it has the Arca Swiss plate. So I don't have to carry different attachments for my tripod. It's all in one head. And it's got the super quick lock-in feature with just this cam latch. It also has the different angles you can set your legs at. If you want to go super low, you can do that. And then it goes to the standard. All right, the next tripod we're gonna look at is from Vortex. This thing is huge. Makes for a great super stable shooting platform. It's got similar adjustments on the head where you can adjust how tight this ball is locked in. This only has the Arca Swiss plate, base plate. So if your rifle has a Picatinny rail and you want to attach it to this, you're going to have to get some sort of adapter that goes from the Arca plate to your Picatinny rail of some sort, whether that's just attaching one of these base plates to your rifle somehow, or getting a attachment that hooks into an Arca Swiss plate that then will accept your Picatinny rail. So this tripod comes in at just over 7 pounds, 7.3 pounds. It is massive. Like all tripods, it has multiple angles you can set your legs at. This tripod would be great if you have a blind on your property, like a box blind or something that you want to use it in, and you're going to like carry it out there and maybe leave it there. It's just too big, in my opinion, to pack around in the woods, but it would make a great platform for shooting off of at the range, or if you want to carry it in your truck so that you can check your zero when you get to your destination, that would be a good option. This thing also has 3 pretty long legs. I do like how big the locking mechanisms are on here. It'd be something that's super easy to use with gloves on to get it all set up if you're hunting in the cold. And it does get a little bit taller, as you can see, than the Manbily, but it is significantly heavier. I wouldn't carry this around on my backpack, but it is a super stable platform if you're using it somewhere that you can like pack it in and set it there. If you're hunting on the edge of a field and want to use it that way, that would be a good option. Like I said, it's just too big for my liking for a backpack hunt, or anytime I'm hiking around a lot and just have it sitting in my backpack. The other drawback to this one is the fact that its footprint is quite large due to the head on it. Because it does have a very large ball head and platform up here, it doesn't collapse down near as tight, so it's not as portable as this one. But this does have a higher payload capacity. You can put up to 55 pounds on this. If you're shooting some sort of long range bench gun that's super heavy, this might be a better option for you. That may be too much weight for a smaller ball head like this one. The third tripod we got here today is from Tricer. This is also a heavier tripod. The interesting thing about this one is that they flipped around the legs. You have your biggest section that extends out on the bottom and the narrowest one up top. This puts more of the weight down towards the base. This tripod also is a 3-leg tripod. This tripod, this is the Tricer JC. It weighs 6.7 pounds with this center column in. The nice thing about this head, this center column piece, is that it has a twist to extend. You twist this little knob here and it extends the center column. So if you are shooting off of this one, and you can get multiple different heads, so you could get a ball head for this that could fit a Arca Swiss plate on it. Right now we just have this gun rest attachment for it. Hooks right into your center column. You can adjust it with just twisting. So if you're trying to fine tune your height, it's pretty easy. Get it close and then you can just fine tune your adjustment here. Locks in with a twist lock mechanism here. It's very smooth up and down. So if you do not lock it in, it's just going to slide back down. So you'd adjust it to where you need it. You can fine tune it, lock it in place, and now you have a solid platform to shoot off of. With this centerpiece all the way extended, let's see if I can get it. You're similar in height to the other tripods here. However, you do have the centerpiece, so you're not, once you get up here, it's not quite as stable as if you have this centerpiece all the way down right next to your tripod legs. That's the advantage of the other two. They don't have a center column. It saves a little bit of weight, but then it also makes it to where your weapon is right on top of your tripod legs and there's less movement in the system. This option, you can take this section off and put it on a Arca Swiss plate. It comes with a little adapter here that you put in here, screws onto your normal Arca Swiss plate. You can buy just this from Tricer. This is the TRICER-RG, and this would be a great option for you guys that are hunting with a older style rifle that does not have a Arca Swiss attachment or a Picatinny attachment. And some of those rifles, they look so good, you don't want to alter them by putting one of those plates on there. This would be a good option for you to stick on your tripod to then have a fairly stable shooting platform. Again, that's not going to be as stable as like locking it in with one of the other attachments. However, this would be a good option for maybe a little shorter shots, or if you're hunting with an older style rifle and you don't want to modify your rifle at all to attach it to a tripod, this could be a good option. Something I might do would be to just purchase this TRICER-RG attachment, have it already set on an Arca Swiss plate, and then I could forego this whole tripod and just use whatever tripod I'm currently using for my glassing setup or my filming setup. We just did a review on a bunch of different tripods that are more specific for glassing and or camera use that are not really meant for shooting off of, but with something like this and an Arca Swiss plate attached already, it would be very easy to pull your binoculars off of your tripod, slap this on, and then you'll have a little bit more stable of a shooting platform. However, again, this is not going to be quite as stable as a specific shooting tripod would be, and it doesn't have all the nice features. When you unlock those balls, they're very loose because that's what they're designed for. You only have a camera or your binoculars on it. You want it to move a lot more free than this one does. This one, if you do want to loosen it up so it does move a little bit more free, there's a set screw in here. I didn't mention that earlier, but there is a set screw in here that you can adjust and get that fine-tuned to whatever your liking is. Those are the shooting tripods we have with us today. I'm also going to go over a couple of the items that I carried with me on my last hunt in Montana to assist with longer range shots. When we were up shooting with Matt Allwine, he recommended having some sort of a rear bag to set your butt of your rifle on when you're taking these long shots, along with a bipod. I have a bipod on my rifle. The first day I packed this rear bag with me. This is just a cheap one I got off of Amazon. I wanted a small, lightweight one that I could fit in my pack. This one weighs in at 1 pound, 8.4 ounces. After walking around with this for a day, I decided I did not need that, and I carry this guy with me. This is a rifle scabbard from Eberly stock. I've had this thing for many, many years. I love being able to stick my rifle all the way in. It protects all the valuables, goes from the bore of the rifle all the way up to including the action of the rifle, keeps it all nice and padded and in something that protects it from the elements. And then I can attach this to different points on my backpack, and that's my preferred way of carrying those rifles. Usually when I carry it on my backpack until I've spotted something and I'm moving in for a shot, and then I'll pull it out. What I ended up doing is I just took this with me and folded it up and used that as a shooting bag instead of packing a specific shooting bag that's only good for shooting off of. So this is kind of a multi-use option. Plus, you can stick it over top of a rock, and it's padded enough that it's not going to scratch your rifle sitting on the rock. You can fold it over once, twice, however many times you need to get the desired elevation off of whatever you're shooting off of, and that worked really well. So that's what I ended up doing to save a little weight. I got rid of the rear bag, and I just packed this tripod and my scabbard for my rifle. The other thing that Matt showed us was if you're in a situation that the tripod is not really necessary to shoot off of from the ball head, you could have your gun resting on, say, a rock up here, and then you set up your tripod next to the butt of your gun, and then you set the gun next to the tripod or pull the tripod into the gun, and with your non-shooting hand, you kind of hold that stock onto the tripod, and it creates a super stable platform to shoot off of. And that's what Kenny ended up doing on his shot in Montana. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you stopping by. Please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us to put more of these videos out. Like this, share it with a buddy, and we'll catch you on the next one.